Today we'll look at the differences between promote and wave linking for getting an associative copy of the geometry to prepare it for meshing. Promote is best for new users because you don't have to manage the visibility of the original component and the wave-linked body. Promote is limited to sheet and solid bodies. If you're running an older version of Simcenter 3D, you may not be able to use a promoted body as a target in the Unite command. If you have a step file of geometry that was authored in another CAD package and you want to be able to update the Simcenter 3D simulation model with an update from the third-party CAD, you'll have to wave link. Please see this video for more details on how to use the Wave Replacement Assistant to update the simulation model to a change from third-party CAD. The Wave Geometry Linker was created as an evolution of Promote. Wave is not limited only to selecting bodies. Curves, points, datums, and other geometry can be wave-linked. If the Wave Geometry Linker is used and all bodies are brought into the FEM, there will be one body in the FEM from the wave-linked body and one body in the FEM from the original component. This can cause confusion when both meshing as well as applying loads and constraints. To avoid confusion, you can either use layers as described in this video, or you can select only the wave-linked body to bring into the FEM. So let's start with a bracket, and we'll create some simulation files. And by default, I'm going to leave bodies to use as all. And we'll create a new solution. Now when we go to the idealized part, we get this question. We can promote or wave link. Which should we use? Let's try wave link first, and we'll take a look at some of the caveats with it. Here we want to wave link a body, and we'll have hide original on. That will hide the component in the idealized part only. Then we can make a modification to that geometry to prepare it for simulation. Then when we go to the FEM, what you'll see are two overlapping bodies. We've got the original component that has the hole in it, and we also have the wave-linked body that we removed the hole from. So there you can see those two. And this can lead to confusion because if you have both of them on and you don't know that you've got two overlapping bodies, you can end up meshing one and then applying your loads and constraints to the other in the sim. So here, if we were to go ahead and pick one of those faces to constrain, if we were not to hesitate and get the quick pick and just go for the first one, we might get the wrong one. And here it's difficult to tell which is the right one because they both look the same. So to avoid that confusion, we've got a couple of different options. First is to use layers, which you can see this video, which goes into detail as to how to use layers when wave linking. Or what you can do is edit your bodies to use. Instead of selecting all, which is what we selected when we created the FEM, we could say select. Then deselect everything except for our wave-linked body that we removed the hole from. And then you'll see we only have one body in the FEM. Now, as an alternative, what we can do, and let's go back to selecting all bodies, and we'll go back to our idealized part. We'll get rid of our wave linked body, and instead we'll create a promotion. And here I'll do a Shift Control U to show all or unblank all. Then we'll use promote, and we'll delete our hole like we did last time. Now promote is going to manage the overlapping bodies. It's not going to give us the additional component. It's going to replace the component with the promoted body, so we only have one and that leads to no confusion when we go to mesh and apply our loads and constraints.